Hi everyone, I'm Elena and welcome to Makeup Fabulousness. Today I wanted to talk to you about my recent no-buy, and I went on it for about 3 months and I wanted to share some lessons I learned with you. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button below and don't forget to click the bell so you can know when more videos like this are out. So back in May, I had really gone a little bit overboard in my makeup, and I realized that it was getting to the point where I was losing track of what I didn't have as opposed to what I had, as opposed to just buying more stuff. So it was really taking a toll on me, and it was starting to upset my husband. So I told him I would take 3 months and not buy any makeup, which I did. And this may be considered an exception. I'd like to think this was an exception, but I did buy perfume and a makeup organizer to get myself more organized. But aside from that, I stayed away from makeup. And it was a little bit of a challenge at first. I mean, you see new products coming out and you're like, wow, I really want those. And there were very many times I was tempted and I needed talking me away from the edge, of making the decision to buy makeup. But, if you just focus on your goal, it becomes a lot easier. So I wanted to share with you some lessons that I learned from doing this while I was off buying makeup. And one of the lessons is it makes you focus on what you have instead of what you want. So you see beautiful palettes, and I mean, when I saw the Jaclyn Hill palette, I said, oh gosh, I really, really want that. But then again, it made me ask myself more questions. Is Morphe truly cruelty-free? And there's mixed answers on this. So what it made me do was go to the website and realize that, okay, Morphe doesn't even have a word about their cruelty-free status on here. So how, if it's not important enough to put on their website, then why should I believe they're cruelty-free? And there's been some questionable things that have been done to other YouTubers from Morphe, and just their sales tactics are somewhat questionable. So it kind of made me realize, as much as I enjoy Jaclyn Hill as a YouTuber, I don't need this palette. And it forced me to look through some of the holiday stuff I had and some of the palettes that I accumulated that I'd never even touched. And I buy my own makeup. I don't get anything from PR. So, everything that I do for this channel is an investment for me. So it really made me appreciate that and focus on that. And it made me slow down. And another thing is, when a popular makeup item comes out, you're watching the wave instead of riding it. And what I mean is, it forces you to be a bystander. And really, it's really easy to impulse buy. Especially when you see something really beautiful that you love for yourself and you can see yourself having that, whether it's clothing, makeup, or even, just jewelry. And, you ask yourself, okay, what's going to come out next that I'm going to like even more? And what's going to, is there going to be something next? There's always going to be something next. So sometimes it's just nice to watch the wave and see what happens. And if you're on a no-buy, it's still going to be there. If it's something that's really, really good and really, really in demand, limited edition, guess what? They make it permanent. So there's no reason to rush into it on impulse buy. So for me, it cut down the impulse buying. Another thing I learned from being on a no-buy is that it frees up your money that you would spend on makeup to spend on more important things. This spring, I was in the hospital for 10 days because, as I mentioned, I had health issues. And yeah, I'm doing fine now, but if I had put all that money towards makeup, you know, I might have had huge, I would have been struggling even more so than I am now to pay off hospital bills. And, you have to have a balance in life. You can't be living life off of makeup. Now, and, there has to be a balance. You have to balance out makeup with other parts of your life. And for that, it helped me find the balance. Another thing is, if a product is truly meant to be, it will be there. Like I said before, good products, they sell themselves. So really, it's like, even if it's something that's limited edition and it goes away, ask yourself, do I have something like that in my collection? My huge temptation was driving me crazy was the super limited edition that Kat Von D released of Saint lipstick and liner, because it was such a beautiful color. But then I said, well, is there any way you can make this permanent? No. I asked them on Instagram, didn't hear back, so I assumed that was a no. And I realized, okay, if I'm never able to have this Saint lipstick special with the little samples of the Saint and Sinner perfume, then is it really that bad? I have so many lipsticks as it is, and I know that I can find a color like that. It may not be the Kat Von D formula, but there's so many lipstick colors that I have that I know that something, if it's not an exact match, it'll be pretty darn close. And then another thing that I noticed is that it forces you to become more creative with what you have. You look into your collection. You really take a look at what you have. For me, I found myself organizing and really going through stuff and really thinking, did I use this? Well, for anything I'm not using for myself, unless if it's in good condition, or I'm sending it to Project Beauty Share, and I will link Project Beauty Share in the subscription box below. I'm still accumulating a box, and I want to get this sent back before I return to my regular job, which will be in a few weeks. But it really made me realize that, makeup is about experimenting and working with what you have and appreciating. If you don't appreciate what you have, how can you possibly appreciate what you get? So it forced me to say, okay, well, I haven't looked at this palette, and I haven't even used this palette. Let's go and dive into it. I haven't used this palette in a while. Let me see what it is about this palette I like or dislike. And it's made me more focused on the videos I want to present to you guys. Another thing is, you feel an accomplishment on focusing on a few products you want to get through instead of trying a bunch of different products that you'll never use up. Like, if I'm saying, okay, I'm going to use this foundation, well, foundation, it has an average, if you use it every day, you can make it last about 3 to 4 months. But if there's days, some days I don't feel like putting on makeup, so that's a wasted foundation day. And foundation has a very short shelf life compared to other makeup products. And you don't want to say, oh, I spent, over $30 for this foundation, and you only got through maybe a quarter of it before it goes bad. That's not the way to live. So it made me realize, you know what? I don't need all these foundations, and if I am going to get another foundation, then I'm going to get it when it's on sale. And you can be patient. Good foundations are going to stay out there, just like good makeup is going to be there. So it's really about, focusing on what you need. And yes, I do a YouTube channel, and you want to keep products current, and that's very important. But at the same time, it's about learning about makeup and learning, it's for me, it's about appreciating makeup and how it makes me look, and makes me feel, more polished and more put together, and I feel like, I'm putting more effort into the way I look every day. And it's not to impress other people, it's just to show my best face to the world. And that's why I love doing makeup, and that's what made me motivated to come and do this channel. And then another thing, the last thing I would say, lesson I learned, is that you're less likely to spend money, the same amount of money, on makeup going forward. So the No Buy ended yesterday for me, and there's a bunch of beautiful products that came out, okay, on August 1st. Kylie Cosmetics launched her birthday palette and collection. Well, it was more than just a palette, but it was a whole collection. So, I wasn't as intrigued to buy it, and I've never had any personal problems with Kylie Cosmetics, but, there's been a lot of drama with the company. And, if there's something that I really, so with all that, I may keep an open eye for it, but it's not gonna be like the same rush. And then, some makeup items are geared towards a different crowd. And, it forced me to realize that, not everything is geared for all ages, Some have a niche market, and you really need to take that into consideration when you're considering it. And then, do you really think you're going to use these colors? Whether they're colors or foundations. If you have oily skin, you're not going to go and find a super moisturizing foundation. It's just not going to happen. But I've never really done that. My skin is normal, so I can pretty much, I guess, unless it's super dry or super oily, there's a lot more foundations I can try. Today I'm wearing the Kat Von D. But the bottom line is, I did end my no buy yesterday. I did make a small purchase at Ulta, but it's about a palette that I want to review, and that palette will be, thoroughly reviewed when it comes out, when I get it, and I will be coming out with a video for you. So stay tuned for that. So the bottom line is, makeup, is meant to last, okay? What I mean is they give you sizes that last a while, and then the more of it you buy, the more it gets into a crazy cycle. So for me, it just made me realize, you know what? I truly value what makeup does in my life, and it's forced me to take a step back. And sometimes we need to take a step back, especially when things get crazy and nutty. So it's always good to take a step back and just survey and evaluate what you're doing and why you're doing it. So that's what I learned. And if I hope if any of you guys have been on a no buy or even a low buy, let me know what you think about how any lessons you've learned in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, hit like or subscribe. So, and just remember, guys, don't let anyone diminish your fabulousness. Okay, thanks for joining me. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.